Hello, everybody. Today we have a special edition of Show Me the Money Line, EDF's betting sports podcast. Today I'm here with Lockstars Picks on Twitter. Um, I know you guys have all seen him. I know you guys know what he's about. Today he's going to give us a little insight into the NBA games that we got coming up. We got count them, four big game threes, starting with two of them tonight. I believe the first game tonight is the Heat and the Sixers, and we got what do you call it? Hopes of Joel Embiid. You tell me. What do you think? Is Embiid coming tonight?
If they want a shot to win the series, he needs to come tonight. But who knows?
Sure.
I'm praying he does, just for the sake of basketball and just the sake of seeing a good game. If he doesn't, I see that series ending in a sweep. But at the same time, I'll reserve some of my other statements. So we'll keep it going.
All right. Right now, this game is pretty close to, and as I was actually writing down the odds for today's game, it changed while I was watching it. So this one is a fluid one. Right now, we got the Heat at -2 for the spread, and it changed to 130 on the money line, -130, just as I was watching. So it's going down, going down fast. Sixers are +2 and a +115. And then, of course, we got the over and under of 210.5. If we can, let me start there with you real quick, because do you see this 200, 210s like that, 210.5? Is that not kind of high for these two teams?
I actually have. So yesterday I had the line at 210, and I took the over on that, and
right
with Joel being in the game, I took Philly +3. So both those lines moved in my favor a little bit, and from the time I placed it.
Nice, yes.
But I'm still looking at if Joel's out, that Philadelphia +2 or +3 is out the window though. But regardless, okay. I think a key player in that game is going to be Danny Green. He needs to show up and not just be a name after shooting like 1 for 10 from 3. He needs to
that would almost be making my point for the Heat. I mean, if you're counting on Danny Green, let's ask LeBron what happened when he counted on Danny Green.
Percentages and just being professional basketball player for so many years, and it's just not likely someone like Danny Green's caliber is going to do that again. And just James Harden too is just kind of a defensive liability right now. I'm just watching it just off the eye test. Is just the intensity of just his intensity on the defensive end just isn't there. And regardless of what his offensive production is going to look like, Philadelphia just needs to come out game 3 and just set a tone of we're not going to go down easy. But Miami is definitely probably the hardest team to make that statement against, with them actually caring about what you have to say. So it's going to be a very interesting first quarter, especially if Joel's in the game. I'm excited to see that. But like I said, I think Miami just has way more depth, so much better production off the bench with Tyler Hero. And so even that's why I give the over of 210, just because you have just a constant flow of offense on Miami side, and you're just gonna live and die with the 3 on Philadelphia's end. So
I could definitely see if Joel Embiid walks on that floor, that's one of those. I hate to even put it in that category, but one of those Willis Reed type of things. He's going to come back. This game would be the game he has to come back in. If they go down 0-3, I mean that's a wrap, you know.
Before he probably won't even.
But their bench will be mighty important tonight. If the Philadelphia bench can do its part and keep them in the game, and everybody's clicking like they should on coming back to Philly, getting all hyped. I mean, I expect Philly to come out and be on their game. But if they can hold that down and the bench can show up tonight, I mean, they have a chance. But without Embiid, I think that's almost the opposite effect. It's a deflator. You know, him coming on that floor is going to bump him, and him not showing up again is almost going to be like a I mean, I did that survey today, and it was overwhelmingly 4-1 the series ending. I thought that was pretty interesting. So I guess people are giving them a chance to at least get one of the two. So you like the over there? You like the Sixer, or you took the Sixers and you had +3 though, right?
Yeah, with the asterisks of Joel being there.
Will you make another bet if he decides not to be there? Will you make another one?
Oh yeah, taking Miami.
Can't help it, right? Okay. I mean that's going to be great, and that is everything that we just said right there for sure. I mean it's a Joel Embiid thing, but again, watch that line, because I have a feeling the more we get closer to him either being there or not, we're going to see that thing fluctuate too. So keep an eye on that. The second game to me is one that I don't know if I've seen in a long time in a playoff game of any type. I don't care what sport it is. It's literally got zeros and even across the board here. And I only found a couple of sites when you go to some of those ones that give you like all the betting, across the board. There was only a few who had it at a +1, a -1 here and there. So people really believe this one's going to be tight tonight in Dallas. How do you see this one coming down? Where did you get yours at?
Like I said earlier, I think this is going to be a sweep. Regardless of Luka being Luka, I just don't think he has the consistency in his supporting cast to just defend at an elite level, with Luka being the defensive liability on that team whenever he's on the floor. They're just targeting matchups every time, getting switches on top of the key, going downhill on Luka. I see Dallas playing a physical game, playing with desperation. They're the only other team down 0-2 right now in the playoffs. So with the first game in their home stadium, they're gonna just again try to set the tone, regardless of like they finished the regular season with top 10 in defense, top 5 in defense, around there. So I expect another slow-paced game with Luka facilitating and just a lot of team basketball, slow. On Phoenix end, they're just a better team through and through. DeAndre Ayton's the biggest mismatch in that whole series. 25 and 10 every game, easy. I just don't see them having an answer for Ayton, CP3, and Booker. You saw at the end of that, closely contested for like 3 quarters, game 2. Just that fourth quarter run, that's just evident of the depth and just the experience that the Suns have over the Mavs. And Luka had a big step in his career, winning his first playoff series, and now it's up to the Dallas management to build a team around Luka in the offseason to be more competitive. This is just the end for the Mavericks, in my opinion.
So I do believe that the Suns are the better team, but I also believe that we haven't seen the Mavs yet in this series. They went there and Phoenix did what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to win your home games. You're supposed to win them good. Now, they did that, but I saw a lot of things that leads me to believe that this is not going to be the same kind of a series and be a straight sweep. For one reason, Dallas wasn't Dallas. They didn't score like they've normally scored. They've been in the top of scoring. They can score. Now, Phoenix did take them out of their game somewhat, but that hype Dallas crowd, that whole thing, I think they're going to be on they're firing their offense tonight. And I also seen the fact that they figured out a little something on Phoenix's defense, which we're now going to probably see the whole way through whoever gets Phoenix next. And that's that they pick on Johnson every time down the floor. If he's in the game, they switch. Whoever has the ball, they switch Johnson on him. And they also started clogging up that lane. Didn't help him much in the fourth quarter, obviously. But when you know where Chris Paul's going to go, You know where he's going to go every time, comes around, gets to the corner, shoots a little corner shot. The last game, they had people for those 3 quarters standing there at those corners waiting on him. And it took him off of his game to have to pass. Now, that blew it later on, but I'm saying in Dallas, we just haven't seen all of it yet. So I think you're right for sure. The Suns are going to take them. That just, it's not a series that I don't think Dallas has a chance to win. But I do give them this game, and only for that. You're back at home. It's going to click, but they can't hold that out. I don't think they can hold that out at all. But how do you see that? Is 218 too high? Is this a how do you see that?
Yeah, I got under 219.5 yesterday. So, but for Dallas's point, if they have a chance to take this game, their first game at home, they need production from Spencer Dinwiddie and
For sure.
was it RJ Bullock? He just needs to shoot better. He's shooting around like 6-7 threes a game and only making 1 or 2 so far.
Right.
And you're just giving those shots to those people. They just need to make them at the end of the day.
Right.
If you're not going to make them, you need to give those shots to someone else who will. So, like Finney Smith on the Mavs, he's been getting a lot of he's been making a lot of hustle plays, second chance points, just bringing that energy. Is he coming off the bench or is he starting? I'm not sure. But whenever he is on the court, it's like you definitely hear his name get called. And for good reasons. He just needs to be more involved throughout the game if he wants to like have that impact consistently. Phoenix, they're very confident. They're a very confident team with Chris Paul here, and there's young guys that love to chirp. Michael Bridges, Cam Johnson. Who am I thinking of? Not Cam Payton. So they're just a team that's full of energy that just needs to be shut up early if you want a chance to have a competitive game and keep them down throughout the game. But as soon as they get that spark, and they're just a very hard team to beat and just stop momentum-wise. So
yeah, and I think you had a good point earlier though too. I don't think they're deep enough that if they're not doing their thing and hitting and getting that production from Dinwiddie from them, then that's where they fall down later on. I think those guys are going to have to play hard all game and keep that consistency up for the whole game. I mean,
Dinwiddie's a very capable player, and
I like him a lot.
He has a very high IQ. He's communicating. He's leading on the defensive end, you see. And it's just he needs to score. He needs to have like 20 and 5 as a number 2 option. Jalen Brunson, he's kind of – I don't know. I don't think he's as capable in this matchup just because of the size that the Phoenix has in their paint, and he's more of a slasher.
They're frustrating him. They are frustrating him, and he's letting it. He's getting here.
So you need your bigger players, your 2s, 3s, to have more production and more aggressive games. So yeah, and you need Bullock to have at least 12 to 15. Finney Smith 12 to 15. Bertans 12 to 15, and that is possible, but not sustainable, as we've been saying. So is it this game? Is it the next game? I'm saying it's not this game, personally.
Okay. So who did you have? Did you get any points, or was yours stuck at even too?
I got Phoenix -1, but it's probably a pickup now, so it doesn't. It's the same damn near. It's a push if they don't They don't. So, but yeah, if they're I have them winning regardless. So. And I have the under. I just see Dallas trying to control the pace, and even though they have been shooting early in the shot clock in Phoenix, I think that's because Phoenix was controlling the pace, and they had no choice but to stay in the game with Aiton getting guaranteed buckets, CP getting guaranteed buckets. You need to shoot a little bit more. Just three is more than two, and they just got caught doing that and kind of got screwed. So, yeah, that's what I have for that series.
All right, yeah, those are going to be two great series tonight, and then of course we're going to have two tomorrow.